Good afternoon, evening now. I guess it's not afternoon anymore. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Wednesday night build show, where we're going to attempt to tame this beast for Mr. Zach. Zach is a local customer who went with us to do a custom build. Overall, we actually packed a lot of punch in this build, as well as a couple of screens and pretty much the whole works, actually. So it's a pretty nice build overall. Really high quality peripherals, as well as the hardware that's in the build. That's really well balanced. That's going to deliver some really good performance. So really quick, just going off the top here, we're just going to run through some of the parts in the build itself. So today we're starting with an AMD Ryzen 7. This is the 7700X, which has 8 cores, 16 threads, and boosts up to 5.4 gigahertz. So it's a great processor, especially if you're doing a little bit of, or doing gaming in general. Anything above the Ryzen 5 is good for, Ryzen 5 or better is good for gaming. Or if it's an Intel i5, good for gaming. Even the Intel i3 is actually pretty decent for gaming. All you're doing is gaming. But he's doing a little bit more than gaming. He's got a little bit of work he's going to be doing on the PC as well, so we wanted to make sure we had the cores available to do that and satisfy his needs there. We're going to be cooling this beast with a Deepcool LS720, which is a pretty high performance in my opinion. 360mm AIO. This is one that I build with a lot. You see me build with these a lot. It's because they work and they work well, and I really like them, especially for their price. That you get what you get out of it. The RAM we're going to be using is the G.Skill Flare X5. It's DDR5. This is a 32 gig set. It was actually bundled with this motherboard and CPU from Micro Center, which made it so we could definitely get a really good deal on these parts to pack as much as we can into the build. The SSD, we're using a Crucial 2TB M.2. This is a Gen 4. It's the P3 Plus series by Crucial. So that's the storage, and we're going to be packing that all onto a MSI Pro Series B650P Wi-Fi motherboard, and powering it with a 1000 watt AGT 1000 by RS Game. This is the black cube. It's an 80 plus gold. It's fully modular, super cool looking. We also have some power supply cables that we threw in here as well. And then the graphics card, which I'm probably most excited about, is the Sapphire Pulse, but it's the overclocked version, and it's the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XT, which is a 20 gigabyte card. It's got all of the fancy features on there, including ray tracing, and for the price, you really can't get much better than these. I think this card is probably the best bang for the buck on the newest card lineup available when you compare NVIDIA and AMD cards right now. This is going to be your best bang, maximum bang for buck. And you probably could even do the 6950 XT and be more than happy with that as well. But and that's right up there with it. So, all right, without further ado, oh yeah, in the case that we're throwing this in, it's the Leon Lee Landcool 216. So we've got the 216 that we're going to be building in. Okay. And it's in black with the addressable RGB fans in the front, which are 180 millimeter, I believe. And then a 140 millimeter black fan in the back. And we don't have any additional fans that we're adding to the build. So without further ado, let's get building. Now anyway, let's break it down to our motherboard, CPU, RAM, and SSD, and we'll start with that. We can go straight into the recycle the bin. Might need that. Definitely gonna need that. So how's everybody doing tonight? It's been a while since I've streamed. It's been over a week. Kind of a rough patch there. That keeps dinging like that. Might have to go over there and shut down my Outlook. I think I left it open over there, sorry. Do get a lot of emails, so that's the support inbox, so it's probably going to go off all day. And when I say support inbox, it's not because it's support, it's actually literally all of the deliveries end up in that mail, in that box. I have to change that. So that delivery notifications and stuff don't go there. Need a logistics mailbox. We got our 2 sticks of DDR5, 32 gigabytes total. RAM installed of the Flare X5. That's by G.Skill. Great set of RAM. Very solid, stable set of RAM. And I cannot emphasize that enough. So if you're looking for AMD RAM, AMD Expo RAM, I highly recommend this kit just for the stability. And if you are not looking for RGB flare, highly recommended. Super stable. Need a I'm a little surprised that this was not on the board itself already. Okay. I also started, I don't even know if it's working. I didn't test it really, so this is kind of like a test. Yes, this is my test. But I threw it at the green site. I've just never done the green site before through Streamlabs, which is what I'm using to multi-stream right now because of how easy it is. But I did want to check on that and see if that's actually up. Do, 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 do. Hey, it's actually working. That was easy. But I don't know if any of the chats are going to come through. Don't know. I'll just keep my phone open just in case. Alright, let's get the CPU installed. The last thing we got. Then we're going to deal with the AIO next. Yeah. Let go of the CPU. And as you know, with AMD AM5, all the pins are on the board. So when you're installing these, treat it like an Intel socket, but at the same time, we'll have a gold triangle in the top corner here, and then usually a triangle down here. All you gotta do is match the two triangles. Really only fit it in one way. And slap that down, push the lever down, pops the plastic, good to go. Just like your Intel LGA sockets, very close to it. Alright, so realistically, we are ready to check this mount. Can't remember what that mount is like for AM5 or AM4. Don't recall. So here we are, a 360 millimeter LS720 by Deepcool. Beautiful cooler. It's going to be top mounted the land cooled 216, using nothing but coolness for the video. When I say that, it's because the fact that it's just going to be dumping all its hot air directly out of the case. It's not going to be spewing it inside the case, causing a bunch of extra hot air inside the case, which you don't need anymore. Now that newer, more modern cases support 360 millimeter EAOs on the top, finally. Most cases do that now, and it's a beautiful thing. Alright, so for AM5, I believe we used the stock bracket on the back, but we removed plastic clips, and then we have a couple of things that we had here. These things. Don't remember which one it is, because there's like 3 different ones here. Here for but I think it's the same as AM4. Yes, it is. So we're just going to remove these. Right, and then we're going to add 4. These are what's going to hold the cooler, but we're utilizing the back plate, the stock back plate that came with the motherboard. We won't need this Intel. Need that. Don't need the Intel bracket. And hardware. And I'll save the Hey, you got swords. Thanks for that resubscribe. Let's go. If you guys are chatting, I am not seeing the chat. Is anybody chatting? Let me pull Twitch up. Just kind of weird that there's been like 0. Maybe that's broken because I added green stuff to the stream. Don't know. But just a shout out to I Got Swords. You've been subscribed for 5 months. It's kind of cool. Super cool. Thank you, sir. You're pretty much gonna pay for the $1 PC at this point. Right. All right, so now we are ready to pull this case out and get that going. I'm gonna pull this case out. Okay, so for whatever reason, I just switched over to the Twitch chat. Hey, Papa Goose, sorry I missed your... It's 8 p.m., sorry. This is Family Ops, by the way. I changed my name because I'm going to start streaming again here on Kick. That's awesome. It's good to hear, man. But anyway, my multi-stream chat is not working for some reason, and I think it's because I introduced Kick to my stream collaboration mash. So now my multi-stream chat is just straight up not working. So I can only see my Twitch chat right now. So I apologize if I missed your chats, Papa Goose. I broke it. And I Got Swords, thank you. Let's go. And I was going to try to start the stream earlier, but you know me, I always have an excuse with something going on. But we had 3 PCs on that bench right there before I got to this that I had to clear. I had to get through 3 PCs before I could get to this one. I'm playing a little bit of catch up from last week. This is the Landcool 216. It's very similar to the Pantex G500 that you see me build in, although this is a little bit shorter and it has its own unique features as well. But it's very similar to the Pantex G500. Very close. For example, the front of this case has the 2 180 millimeter fans instead of 3 140 millimeter fans. And also, the bottom of the tower is ventilated. You'll see down here, this is all ventilation or mesh for additional vents, airflow. Especially if you add fans here and here, you can get a little bit more ventilation as intake flowing directly on your graphics card. Kind of cool. But overall, one of the main reasons why I love this case is because of the fact that it is supports a 360 millimeter AIO on the top, and it's within I think $130 is total for the case, and so you get a lot for the money that you're paying for. It's a quality case. Got a really nice front mesh design with 2 really good fans on the front, as well as a rear fan, and the ability, or the more modern approach of the 360 millimeter on the top, as well as the options to put even more fans on the bottom, is just a super nice touch for your you get a lot of value for the build, or for the case. I like it. I'd say this is probably also one of the top 5 cases of 2023 when it comes to value. This would be the top. Value and quality, I guess, categories that it takes home. But I highly recommend the case, especially for any first-time builder. It's super easy to build in. Actually, before I put this in there, I should probably get the hardware. That's right, the hardware is in a box. I set the box over here. I knew that. You get a really nice hardware kit along with the case itself. An additional hard drive tray to add on to the tray that you already have if you need to add more hard drive space. But a nice hardware kit has all your hardware, and additionally a GPU bracket. We want to use this for our GPU bracket, which we might be using, depending on card. Okay, so now that we have our hardware, we could probably put our motherboard in there. I'll build it fast, don't worry. Okay. Huh, I got you tapped. Oh, nice. Nice. It's all good. Apparently my chat isn't working. I can see my Twitch chat right now, but that's it. So if you're chatting on any other platform, guys, make sure you switch over to Twitch. I've also got the Kick chat up on a separate device just in case I don't want to trying to catch everybody. So YouTubers, if you're watching, make sure you switch over to the Twitch channel. Go on chat. Apologize, for some reason I broke my chat when I added Kick to the mix. Didn't really expect that. Maybe I should have done a test stream. That probably would have been smarter. But why not full send it in production? Learning as we go. Does anybody else know why I broke it when I added Kick to this mix? Like, what did I do wrong? It literally broke my Streamlabs multi-stream chat. Usually I can see all of my chat here. I don't know, maybe somebody has an idea. Maybe Mern knows. I feel like Mern would know. It just means I'll have to play around, and then you guys will be seeing a bunch of like test streams like, empowered test. It's 8 p.m. Yeah, about that. Like I was saying earlier, I had 3 builds here total on the bench that taking up space. I had to finish them. They were getting picked up anyway, so I was just waiting for them to come pick up, and they picked up. And now we have a clear bench. I got all 3 of those done, and I was able to start the stream here a little bit afterwards. So apologize for going this late. Starting up this late, but I mean, honestly, I do a lot of my streams later in the evening during the weekdays. During the weekends, I try to stream earlier. So our radiator is going to go in like this. I know we can't really see here. The radiator is going to go in like that, and which means the cables are going to be facing me. Oh, it's a fans. It's a fans cable. These are your FC120s by Deepcool. They're super slick. They're modular. They have one cable that come off, and they just daisy chain to each other, and then a cable that finally completes the daisy chain, plugs into the motherboard, and splits it to PWM and your addressable RGB off that single cable. Kind of cool. So it really minimizes the amount of cables you have in your build and makes it easier with the daisy chain. One thing I'm going to do before we install this, though, is get our EPS cables in. Well, last time I tried to cram was at the Fantex case, I don't remember. Anyway, very similar case to this Fantex 3. Quite closer than the G500, but almost the same. And it's pretty tight, S cable around the top. So I'm going to try to get our cables in there. Actually, before I go any further, while I'm thinking about it, and that's your CPU power. But powers the CPU, yeah? The same thing with our fans. I think I need those as well. Get a pump and an RGB header up there. Should probably try to get those plugged in too. I have my surgical pliers right now. They broke. 11 years of service. Well, yeah, I gotta find more new ones. Sad day. So here's the splitter that I was talking about. So it has this single connection for the fans itself. I don't know if it's going to be able to focus on it or not. But the fan chain plugs into this, and it splits off to a power connection, which is going to use SATA power because you could have many fans on this chain. Then you have a PWM connection, and then also your addressable RGB connections, fan header and RGB. Those are the two that I'm actually going to get plugged in right now. Those, I just don't want to deal with them after we install this cooler. It's going to be a pain in the butt to get your fingers in here later. Kind of a good idea to try to do this first. And anything else up there at the top So for example, you can see here I'm doing my 8-pin EPS connections. Thankfully I have a modular power supply, so I can take these cables out and plug those in now. Makes it a little bit easier. Alright, so yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's mount the AIO, or the fans to the AIO, and then mount the AIO. Sound like a Canadian. Hey. Nice. Really, I only got the 2 cables because I added the extension here. The AIO pump deal with. Then the actual cable is going to plug into the chain. A little short, but I got it. Come on now. Ouch. Alright, I like to kind of keep this as far as I can go. Here. Then you just want to kind of just get the one screw in. Kind of want to get the one screw in. Kind of helps hold the corner down. I'm not going to tighten this one down all the way. I'm going to leave it kind of loose and go back and actually loosen this one because it's not very centered. So I want to just kind of take a second to try to center this up a little bit. So it looks right and tight. There we are. All right. And then you just drop your screw and it goes into the box of the abyss. but it's okay. You're wearing your reader so you can see everything. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because I've got two holes that are kind of covered up here. Definitely don't need to put this many screws in. But I did. Alright. Now we're going to rotate this down position. This next thing we got to do is fix the brackets on there. Put it's like that. Then just stare at it for a few minutes because why not? And I'm going to peel this off and wipe the thermal paste off. We're not going to be using this stuff. Not that it's bad. I always say that. Just, I could put some better stuff on there, and I know it will last way longer. Completely better job. And that stuff is a thermal grizzly that we'll be using tonight. Like always, they should just sponsor my channel. I got paid for one of their employees this year. All the thermal paste that I bought. Alright, so all I did was add the AM5, AM4 brackets to the pump, to the head. Now we're ready to slap some thermal paste on there, and then we can slap this on the CPU. This is always awkward because of the shape of the CPU. Got it partially mounted. I'm going to put the nut on here without dropping it, and then I drop it. Nice. Just drop it again. More nuts to add here. All right, gonna tighten them down a little bit And then we can move on to plugging the rest of this crap in. Not crap. It's actually very nice hardware. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But what I'm saying is, these cables, for example, the pump needs to get plugged in up here. The pump header, because we want it to be read as the pump. And then we have a special RGB connection that goes back to that daisy chain, part of the cooler daisy chain. Or you would need another cable. I don't got one. I might have one, but I don't want to have one. Plug it in. Get the fat fingers into tight hole. Zip tie. Need a zip tie. Alright, tame these cables a little bit. I try to be fancy with my cables. When I can. That zip tie kind of looks out of place, but oh well. All done. Your zip tie snapped. Apparently I pulled it too tight. Nice. Super clean. Because I'm a super freak. Bet your kids don't know what that is. Alright, let's go to plug in some more cables in. We got USB 3, USB-C, 24 pin. Bunch of other stuff. Moving along. Starting to look like a gaming PC. Alright, so number one, these guys plug in like that. Now they're part of the chain. Two, guy plugs in here. He's part of the chain. Three, guy needs power. That way. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, Chet. What's up, man? Thanks for that follow. I appreciate you, sir. Welcome. Where we build PCs late at night. Right now, I'm just doing a little bit of cable finagling. Trying to get the cables where I want them to go as I tame this beast. But we're almost done. Almost done playing with cables, that is. USB-C is the only one that's going up towards the top. That's this guy. Blink. Right? And this thing, our addressable RGB connection. Pulled apart. Oh, it's down there. We don't need that. USB 3, USB or HD audio, our front panel. Okay. Oh, flip it around, plug it all in. There's our USB-C, our USB 3.0 connection right here. Really can't mess that one up. Only goes in one way. But it does have a notch, so pay attention to that. Or you will bend a pin. Front panel connection on this case is super easy. They very nicely put it all in one block so that you can easily add it to the motherboard. And then so this and this need to move. Carefully far too. Not cool. Get the HD audio. And that I will deal with here. These two. Flip that around. All right. There we go. We got our case fans, our addressable RGB for our case fans, our USB 3, our front panel, and our front panel power button anyway, and our front panel HD audio, and our USB-C all plugged in. So we're good to go. Next, I don't know what's next. Guess we could do the 24 pin. Get that up. And then we can move on to installing the graphics card. Oh my gosh, my brain just farted. I'm an idiot. See what happens when I build PCs too late? Got these really cool cables that we have for the build, but wasn't using them. Like, wow. I need to just start combing these before the stream, and then I will remember to use them because they're sitting there. Now I'm combing up a 24 pin, and then I also have to redo those 8 pins. Even though we were smart and did them earlier, I have to redo them anyway. I'm special. Look at that, so much prettier. I'm an idiot. Cause you're special. Gotta shove my fingers in here now and pray that I can get to it. It is a tight fit to get up in there. Just to push a button. That's what happens when you mess it up. Got one. Number 2. Got it. There's number 2. Now, we have to comb these bad boys and actually put them in there. Sorry, Zach, I know. Late. That's why I'm blurbing. No, I would not actually forget your cables. Ha 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 ha. This was an April Fool's joke. Early April Fool's joke. Alright, so we got the cables combed. Now I'm just going to shove these in here, the back door, and try to get them prepped so that I can put them in. Hopefully with ease. Helpful. Go. And I'm going to lay this back down. And it just shoves all the cable up forward effectively. Sure, why not? Feeling a little jazzy right now. There we go. We got it. We did it. If you look up in the corner, there's white and black cables there now. Hey, you'll be able to barely see. What's up? Papa Goose. Now that that's done, we may as well just get our vertical bracket in. I don't think that GPU has a bracket. Honestly, I like the discreteness of this bracket, which for this motherboard you can use. And all it is two studs replacing those two screws that I just took out. Do, do, do. Look at that discrete support bracket. It's actually a really cool design. I really like the Lian Li support brackets that utilize the back of the card and kind of give it a little bit of a nub support. Kind of cool. I like the design. They're kind of hidden away too. I believe this is a 2 thingamabopper card. Behold the 7900 XT and all 20 gigs of its GDDR6 madness. This is also the Sapphire Pulse, So it's even more badass. And it's the OC. Overclocked edition. So, even more badass. So there's a lot of badass on this card. And they do come with an L bracket. But I would prefer to use the discrete bracket that it comes with. The discrete support on the backside. It's going to look kind of cool. We're not here to look at the box. Yeah. But I mean, this thing is heavy. It is a heavy card. So we might have to use that. I mean, the weight of it is pretty heavy. It's dense. Very dense. But it is sexy. I just love the look of the Sapphire Pulse cards. Got that AMD red flowing through it, pulsing through it. Time to peel all the plastic off the card. The new card smell. All right. Badass. Card is badass. Alright, so now we just got to get our cables in here, then we can start playing with the power supply. That'll be the last thing we got to do, and then we fire this bad boy up. Well, minus a little bit of cable management in the backside, but this case is very easy to cable manage. So, almost like I'm not cable managing. Because it's so easy. Alright. So that's a 7900 XT Sapphire Pulse. It's a beautiful card. Looks absolutely stunning inside this case, along with these components that we've selected for this build. Very attractive looking. Almost maybe would have gone with a little bit of a red cable to kind of blend, but would have also had to have gone with a different board with a little bit of a red tinge to it as well for it to make sense. But I think there's enough white throughout the build, fans, RAM on the card that it will blend pretty well. Quiet night. Wednesday's just like an off day today, like, or I know I was streaming and we had pretty good good feed weeks ago. It's been a week that I was out. And it got quiet. All my chatting buddies. People that make fun of my dad jokes. The terrible dad jokes. Right. Looks nice and clean. Gonna pop a cable in there. Hold it steady and clean. Alright, there we go. Starting to look like a badass gaming computer, I'd say. Oh, let's flip this thing over. Get the power supply in there. But I just stand this up because we're going to be slapping it in there. I don't knock anything down there. Hey, what's up, Noob Sauce? What's going on? What build is this? All dad jokes are terrible. That's what makes them so good. Oh, sorry, you saw me in a depressing state there. So this build... Sorry, just... It's been so quiet today. I haven't really been paying attention to chat. That and my chat's kind of jacked up right now. I added kick to the stream and my multi-stream chat's kind of jacked up, so I don't even know if I'm getting all the chats, to be honest with you. But this build is a Ryzen 7 7700X on a B650 MSI Pro motherboard, and it's a 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz. As well as a RX 7900 XT with a 1000 watt power supply, gold rated power supply cables, and a 2 terabyte M.2 SSD. NVMe Gen 4, and that is a Crucial P3 Plus. Lots of good stuff. It's actually a really nice build. For what he paid for it, it is a very, very nice build. And it's a 360mm AIO like normal. Mounted top to a Landcool 216. That is in black. Cool, cool. Yeah, no, if your dad jokes are good, then that's not a dad joke, right? I mean, dads might think they're good and appreciate them. Other dads. But if your kids and your wife like your dad jokes, then there's probably a problem. We'll have to go back to dad joke school and review. Am I right? Hey Club Mats, any recommendations on a 1440p monitor, preferably under 700-ish? Well, sir, the Asus Tough, depending on what size you're looking for. What kind of games are you playing? That will actually help determine the size of screen I'll recommend. And also, on top of what games are you playing, how far away is the screen? Are you sitting right up close to the screen, or are you sitting further away? Or is it on like a normal desk? How close is it to your face? That will also determine the size recommendation as well. All right, gonna slide this power supply in here. And we're going to screw it in through the back door. I'm a dad, so I always appreciate them. I was better at coming up with them, so I could put more embarrassment on them. Embarrassment on them. Especially now that I'm about finished with adoption of a 16-year-old. Nice. Congratulations on that, you guys. FPS like WZ on the desk, about 2 to 3 feet. The Warzone, about 2 to 3 feet. I wouldn't go much. So with 1440p, 2 to 3 feet, I'd go in the range of 27-inch to 32-inch. 32-inch probably being the maximum, because at 2 to 3 feet, it's going to be hard to kind of see without turning your head. Because what you don't want is to have too big of a screen where you can't see the full screen with just your eyes without moving your head. You don't want to have to move your head like this all over the place just to see the edge of the screen. So you want something that'll stay within your vision. And I would go curved for peripheral, which helps your peripheral vision. So I'd go a curved. So 1440p up to 32 inches, between 27 and 32. Asus Tough would be my recommendation if you want to save some bucks. Like, it doesn't have any of the fancy flare and RGB on it, but it is a nice monitor. And you don't need an ultra wide. I personally don't like ultra wides for first person shooters, so that's a preference thing and what you prefer to play on. But so the ultra wide would become a preference thing. Do you like that view? I don't. But I'm also an old school player, so I've been playing for a long time. and I started on the old school squares. But I like right now I'm actually gaming on a 27-inch 1080p by Asus TUF, and I absolutely love it. I also have a 32-inch 1440p Asus TUF, and I absolutely love that one as well. So, and then also, because it's a first-person shooter, make sure you have at least 1 millisecond response time, and also make sure you have 144 hertz, and hopefully you have the graphics card to drive it. I agree. Feel like ultra-wide just stretches things out too much. Yes. I'm not a fan of it. Some people are. Some people actually prefer it, but it comes down to a preference thing. You know, it's what you prefer to play on. But if you're coming from a console, I would stay away from spending the money on that super ultra-wide. Ultra-wide is really only beneficial for like RTS games or simulator games, things like that. That's my opinion, though, and other opinions could be different. That's where you would need that extra screen. But when I'm playing a first-person shooter, I just want to be zoned on the screen. I don't want to have to move my head left or right, up or down to see anywhere on the screen. I just want to focus on what's in front of me. And that's 27 to 32 inches at 2 to 3 feet is about what I would do. And 1440p on that screen shouldn't cost you more than like $400, even with an Asus TUF. Shit, I mean, these two 27 inches I have here on the floor, you probably can't see them, but right there, I've got two 27 inches right here for actually this build right here that I'm working on, and those are 1440p, and I think they were like $250 each. We got two really nice monitors. Those are FSI. Did I unplug this from that far? I must have unplugged this accidentally. Yeah, I'll deal with that in a minute. And we're just wrapping up some quick cable management here. Do 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 do. Almost done with this build. By the way, I got your email. Already took care of the raid setup on my PC. It was no big deal. Yeah, I was going through my checklist for your build, and I noticed that I didn't do that. You know what? That was one of the last things I was going to take care of on the build. I don't know why I missed it, but I knew I didn't check it off, and I should have checked it before I released it. Normally I do. One of those things that got away. I was like, shit. Hopefully he doesn't think I just didn't install them. And I kind of figured you were going to do it anyway at that point. I just wanted to make sure, you know, I was here to help. That, not trying to not do it or get out of it. That is not my first time doing that either. For some reason, it's like, I need to just start doing it at the beginning so I don't forget to do it. Derp. It's a lot easier to do after you get Windows installed. I guess it's not the Windows drive in this case, so, or in that case anyway, so never mind. It's only easier because you can download the driver, run it if you need it, but in that case you don't even need it. But my exact words when I read that I did not finish that was, "Aw, shit." Got me again. So I owe you a beer or something, I guess, at this point. Nice cold beer. If you're ever in the neighborhood, want a nice cold beer, just let me know. Oh, we're on the home stretch. Kind of worried about this little cluster. This panel's a ball pressure, as Jay's 2 cents would call it. Ball pressure panel. So it's not screwed on. Uses balls and pressure. This is poking out a little bit. Might need to reevaluate that situation. I guess. Does that look clean enough? Pretty clean. I think it looks nice. Hell, perfect. It never really ever is. But if we do any updates, upgrade. Be pretty easy to do. Curious if this panel's gonna fit. It's all pressure. What case was he reviewing? It fit. We're good. They're good. I'm gonna shove these cables in a little bit harder. They're where they belong. The rest of these are pretty much right on. Spot on! Peel this bad boy now. And we're ready to fire this thing up! How about that? Just do a little bit of cleanup here. Doink. Nice and clean. I'd make that 4-hour drive again just to have a cold one with you. Aw. Well, that's cool. I don't want you to drive out of your way. I'll meet you halfway. I don't drink very much, but when I do, in Mother Russia, drink you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they might want to put the top back on. Might look kind of silly without that. And I'll change the view. Hold on, change the view. Oh yeah. My Logitech camera is going bleep, bleep, bleep. It's technically a room system camera. Is that the right view? I wish I could make this a little different, but I think that's okay. Ready for this? Well, that's not cool. There's a fan that's not spinning. Hello? Did I unplug you again? I did. That's the second time I unplugged this dude. And I don't know why. There we go. So now we're just sitting here waiting for a post. And man, she's blowing. You can see the cloth in the background here. We got a post, ladies and gentlemen, a post. It's post time. We went back to no signal, but I think this is RAM timing. It posted a BIOS screen and then it went dark, and then I think it's doing some RAM training with the DDR5. And yeah, there we go. Now we're back to CPU changes. but now we're in the BIOS. So definitely RAM training is what we were kind of doing there. Doing the little RAM training dance. Being DDR5. But I am going to plug that USB stick in and start the installation. Those fans have some power. That build's going to have no problem staying cool. Yeah, dude. 2 180 millimeter fans in the front. Then you got the 140 in the rear, right? Yeah. Yeah, they go. Right now, I think the MSI board has them running at full RPM. So, that's kind of normal for MSI boards. I don't know why they do that. You have to actually go into the BIOS and tell them, hey, guys, these are PWM fans. Okay? Just calm down. But I don't usually do that until after I do the BIOS update anyway, so. And I don't usually do that until after I do the Windows installation. Is that the right process? I don't know. Probably should be doing the BIOS update first. I don't think it matters. Honestly, I don't think it matters. Unless I somehow screw up. Like, once the FPM security crap gets a little bit more restrictive, then you might have to do the BIOS update first. And I have fear for anybody who's like, if that starts breaking shit like that, that's going to be really annoying. But I understand why at the same time. 2 terabyte M.2. That graphics card is beautiful. Yeah, no, that stuff is just blowing. Really good airflow coming in. And some really good airflow coming out. So, definitely decent fans. I like them. Such a nice, clean build. Minus that cable. That needs to be pushed in. Naughty cable trying to argue with me. Congrats to who this build is for. This is for Zach, local customer. He had I think it was an older Alienware that he was trying to resurrect, and it kind of talked him out of trying to resurrect it because it was very proprietary, very, the case airflow sucked, and I just didn't want him to put newer components in that case. We could have done it, ultimately, but it just would have been bad. So it would have been bad airflow. So we kind of talked about that first, and then we somehow got into this build to think he was getting something from Dell, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I don't know. I talked to too many people. Zach, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I just talked to so many people right now. It's not funny. Trying to keep my shit straight. But anyway, we ended up with this build. We actually have it's a really kind of cool setup. He's got a Dell dock for his work laptop and 2 MSI screens with this PC that he got through us, as well as a dual monitor HDMI KVM switch, which supports the 144 hertz for the monitors. So he can switch back and forth from his work laptop and his gaming PC without losing performance. So we had to do a little bit of research on, what the best KVM switch was going to be for this. But he also got a Logitech mechanical keyboard and a Logitech gaming mouse, as well as a Logitech headset. out of it as well. So it's a really good package. And those 27-inch MSI monitors that I was talking about earlier, which are 1440p, really cool. So yeah, really cool setup so that he could work and play on the same desk. Solutions. But this build is for Zach. So Zach, I'm looking forward to getting this wrapped up for you so you can come pick it up. And I'm looking forward to seeing it all set up. So I just got to finish the Windows side, the BIOS update, install the drivers, and do fan curves and set the not the XMP, the AMD Expo for the RAM, and then also go through the battle test phase, make sure it's cooling and performing where it should be. Awesome. In my experience, Logitech has always served me well. Yes, I am a long-term Logitech fanboy. I always recommend their products. Their products are really nice. Some of their lower-end products are meh, like their headset. I kind of steer clear from them. Had some bad experiences with those. But their Pro Series are really nice. They're really nice headsets. I really like them, and I highly recommend them. So, and any of their mechanical keyboards, they're just really nice, and they last a long time. Like, I'm rocking a Logitech mechanical, I think it's the 413 or something, or the 430 or whatever it is. But it's one of the 400 series. And I've had that for like, I don't know, 3 years now or longer. And it still performs like it's brand new. I've even used it so much that my keys are wearing down. That's because I use my keyboard a lot. And the paint is wearing off of them from using it. And like the key still feels like it's brand new. Speakers, yes, I also have Logitech speakers. I have Logitech headset. I have a Logitech mouse. I've even got Logitech for my work laptop setup, including the keyboard, the mouse, the headset is actually Jabra, but that's because it's a Teams certified headset for Teams Business Voice. That's one thing Logitech I think should get is, I think they do have a couple of options actually now that I think about it. I'll have to look into that. Certified headsets for Teams Business Voice. They have some really good room systems too, for Teams. Absolutely love their Windows-based, not their Android-based room systems. Android-based is okay. It's just kind of a pain in the setup. Their setup experience is not that great. I got stuck on a couple of weird loops once. Looks sick. Hey guy, swords. It looks sick. Yes, sir. And this is your AMD card you keep talking about. This is the 7900 XT. Not the XTX, but it's the XT, which is a badass card. Great card. I'm kind of excited because this is actually my first 7900 XT that I built with. So I really want to see what the benchmarks do. They'll give me an idea of kind of where we're at with the NVIDIA, even though I already know from all the other feedback and people's videos and stuff, but it'd be kind of cool to see. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, Zach's computer. We're going to wrap it up. And looking to have it all ready to go for you, Zach, tomorrow-ish. So be on the lookout for my email or my phone call. I'll be letting you know when it is ready for pickup. And look forward to meeting you. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your Wednesday evening.